everybody, I'm John Hindorf and it's a warm welcome back to the Michelin 24-hour series. We're in Malaysia at the iconic Sepang International Circuit. Now, time-wise, this is the final event and showdown of the 2025 season, so every lap, every pit stop and every decision will count. Teams arriving with much on the line, no second chances now, only precision, endurance and nerve will decide who leaves Sepang as a winner. A competitive grid, fierce multi-class battles and 12 unforgiving hours in the heat and humidity of Southeast Asia. Welcome to the last race of the 2025 season here in Malaysia. However, the drama won't end when the checkered flag falls here in Sepang. Although at the end of 2025, this race is the opening chapter of the Middle East trophy of the Michelin 24-hour series, and so the fight rolls on into the new year as the series returns in January 2026 with a 6-hour race in Abu Dhabi before heading to Dubai for the legendary Michelin 24 hours at the Dubai Autodrome. Now, Dubai was the birthplace of the Michelin 24-hour series in 2006, the city where endurance racing history was forged and where the spotlight always shines brightest. So a racing year ends here in Malaysia, but the 2026 competition starts right here. Sepang International Circuit is one of the true heavyweight champions of global motorsport and an ultimate proving ground for GT3 machinery. 5.5 kilometres, just under 3.5 miles in length. It's all about balance. 2 long straights, sweeping high-speed curves, and quite a few heavy braking, low-speed corners, including a hairpin, push cars and drivers to their limits.
Many good memories here in Sepang. I mean, I started my career pretty much here, and I even came here the last time before COVID and also the first time after COVID. And here I won some races, and my parents, my family came here before to watch our victory, and so I really like this place.
Nice track. I driven the Asian Le Mans series here last year, and also my first time in the Formula 4 was here back in 2019, so you know, always some good memories. First time driving a real race car here, so it's interesting track.
This track is just, I think, it's so state of the art, and it's a nice track to race on. I mean, it's so we have lots of opportunities with TSS. We did Singapore in the support program for the Formula 1, but I mean, this is like a kind of home base for everybody in Southeast Asia, I think. So this is also why this is a good opportunity, a good option for Creventic to start here and get everybody in. And I think it will grow. I think this will work out, you know, it's like it can grow a lot.
Well, the drivers seem to like it, so let's take a closer look. Down the main Kuala Lumpur straight, the field hits over 260 kilometers an hour. That's 160 miles an hour, hard on the brakes, diving into the legendary Pankor Laut chicane. Turn 1, fast, sweeping, but tightens for turn 2, where the drivers have got to balance their aggression with patience to avoid ruining their exit. Now from there, the track flows into a long double apex right-hander at turn 3. Precision and aero stability are rewarded here. Just a short blast up to the Langkawi curve at turn 4. It's another prime overtaking spot. Brake late, clip the apex, and power out cleanly towards the high-speed sweepers to come. Turn 5 and 6 test every little bit of aerodynamic grip that the GT machines will have, fast-flowing and unforgiving. Mid-lap follows the KLIA section, turn 7 and 8, 2 sweeping right-handers. The rhythm changes again in turn 9. The Baraya Tillman corner. Another overtaking spot this, a tight uphill left-hand hairpin, and the ABS will be working overtime. Next up, turns 10, 11 and 12. Smooth braking and steering, a section that rewards precision and punishes hesitation. Turn 13, a long high-speed right-hand corner before, once again, they brake for turn 14, the Sunway Lagoon corner. Heading towards the end of the lap, the Penang straight, or the back straight. That finishes with a heavy braking area into turn 15, the heaviest braking zone on the track. It's a first or second gear hairpin And outside of that apex, it's all off camber. That left-hander launches the drivers back onto the start-finish straight. So that is Sepang International Circuit, a track of contrasts, long, fast, technical and relentless, demanding precision, punishing mistakes and rewarding those who can manage their tyres, keep their rhythm and their nerve. Now it's time to qualify, and this is more than just about the position on the starting grid. It's the first competitive showdown of the weekend. 3 qualifying sessions, each of 15 minutes, and each needing to be contested by a different driver. The best lap per driver counts. Then you add them up and the team with the fastest average gets the pole position. There are new tyre regulations here in Sepang. Tyre blankets at this point of the weekend are banned. Teams are laying out their rubber in the sun to try and warm them up the natural way. The tyres used here in qualifying have to be used again in tomorrow's race. That means every extra lap today could have major performance consequences when it really counts in the race tomorrow. It's a unique situation here in Sepang for TCE, GT4 and GTX. Each of those categories with just one entry. That means tomorrow they'll be running their own individual battles, each trying to hold their ground against the faster and slower classes around them. Representing TCE, Asbest Racing from Germany, the 102 Cupra TCR. In GT4, Jenny Motorsport has a BMW M4 GT4, that's the number 445. And in the GTX category for prototype machines, the number 701, the familiar Vortex squad from France with their striking Vortex V8 2.0. The 992 class is for Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars, and it's always a hard battle. The all-Chinese outfit 610 Racing have put in a strong showing today and claimed a solid 3rd place in qualifying. That's sending a clear message to their competitors ahead of the race tomorrow. In 2nd place, it's the Belgian squad, Michelin Motorsport. This team have 4 semi-pros. They are no stranger to the spotlight, and they're always among the favourites for the pole position, as well as for taking that victory tomorrow. As we've come to expect in this class, it's fractions of a second that decide pole position. And as so often we've seen before, the Dutch family team of Red Camel Jordan.nl have taken pole position. It was another great battle. Father Ivo, together with sons Rick and Luke Breukers, joined this weekend by Adrian Flack, have grabbed top spot on the class grid with an average of 2 minutes 9.330, 49 thousandths of a second ahead of Michelin Motorsport. Now time for the mighty GT3 machinery. And in this category as well, an all-Chinese team showing what their Porsche 911 GT3R is capable of. An impressive average lap time of 2 minutes 4.867. Origin Motorsport have claimed a strong 3rd place. Ingo Mata's Absolute Racing team have performed well with Luke Hartog and a sensational lap in Q2. He was the first driver to break the 2 minutes and 4 barrier. Then his teammate Patrick Niederhauser went one better in Q3, setting the fastest lap of the entire session. That led to an outstanding 2nd place for the team. The difference between pole and 2nd place in GT3? Under 2 hundredths of a second. The inaugural Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia has been hard fought in qualifying trim, and it's the Chinese team of Climax Racing brilliantly sealing the top spot with their 999 Mercedes AMG GT3.
It's a long race, 12 hours, a lot can happen. So, but you know, pole position is the best place you want to start the race from. So, yeah, it's a lot of tough competition, but of course we give our best and qualifying good start. The car is feeling good. Did a good improvements throughout the last 2 days, so very confident for the race.
Qualifying set the stage on Friday, but here on Saturday it's race day in Malaysia. The atmosphere is electric, the paddock buzzes with anticipation, teams are fine-tuning every last detail, and the drivers are focused, ready for the challenge ahead. The tension is palpable on the grid. The field of drivers in the Michelin 24-Hour Series is always top class. Since the start of 2025, it has also boasted a true cinematic superstar. Ajith Kumar is from India, and every time Ajith makes an appearance, his countless fans go absolutely crazy.
Big thanks to the fans, for coming all the way to support motorsport. It's the same like a firm location, right? We have a lot of fans around, so we need to learn to switch on, switch off. probably been doing it for the last 33 years, and we have the best people, professionals guiding us, mental coach, driving coach, to ensure that I'm able to focus and do what I'm supposed to do. So thanks, big thanks to all of them.
Let's take a look at the starting grid. From pole, the 999 Climax Racing AMG with the Porsche of Absolute Racing alongside. They'll set the pace from the very start. Behind them on row 2, Origin Motorsport and Win Here Be Quick Absolute Racing, hungry to challenge those two leaders. Row 3 is all AMG with Ajith Racing in 5th, Viper Nisa Racing in 6th. Behind them, LM Corsa, Lippert Motorsports Lamborghinis alongside them. Row 5, 2 cars that didn't make qualifying yesterday. Herbert's Porsche had electrical problems, they'll start in 9th. Continental Racing Simpson in 10th with their Audi. Gearbox problems kept them out of qualifying yesterday. The field is on the warm-up lap, the tension is climbing now. Drivers have to be fully focused, locked in and ready for this long battle ahead. Onto the start-finish straight. Waiting for the moment when the red lights go off, the race is on, and that's the start of the very first Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia. Thundering down the Kuala Lumpur straight to the right-hander at turn 1 on the right-hand side of the track, the blue Porsche, Luke Hartog. Brilliant launch for him. He's out-muscled Tanat Sathian Thirakul. He's in the bright silver Mercedes. Hartog round the outside of turn 1. That will put him on the inside of turn 2, and that is a swap for the lead. What a start from Hartog. Further back, an explosive getaway from the Viper Nisa Racing 65. Dominic Ang starting that one in the grey and green Mercedes. He's gone up 2 positions. Started 6th, now 4th. And he's well into his groove in that first sector of the race. It seems Team Continental Racing by Simpson with the 69 Audi start from the pit lane after missing qualifying yesterday with that gearbox issue. That joint UAE and British squad know they've got a mountain to climb, but they're already fighting their way back into contention. But Renault is another driver who has made a very good start. Started in 9th after electrical problems yesterday. He's into 6th. That's a team that never comes to any endurance race just to take part. They'll always be fighting for victory. Just about 12 hours still to go. They've got plenty of time to chase it down. That pink and white Porsche in 3rd position is Xuan Bo, defending and holding on to his 3rd position. Now behind the leaders, battles are breaking out everywhere. The midfield is tight, drivers fighting for every inch of the circuit. But it's been a clean start, no contact, no crashes, pure disciplined racing and respect for the other drivers. So at the end of lap 1, Absolute Racing leading the pack ahead of the pole-sitting Climax Racing AMG. Origin in 3rd, Viper Nisa up 2 places to 4th. Ajith Racing in 5th, 6th position Herbert Motorsport, they're up 3. 7th, the Ferrari of LM Corsa, and 8th is the Win Here Be Quick Absolute Racing Porsche. What an opening! Rick Breukers putting on a masterclass, as usual, in the 992 category. He's driving the bright orange 909 of redcameljordan.nl. Holding the lead at the moment and defending from that's Paul Meyer in the Milner Motorsport. These two teams have a history of thrilling battles today, apparently looking no different. Breukers and Meyer, 2 drivers, 2 teams, 1 fierce but fair rivalry. We're just minutes into the race and Renault already mounting an assault on Ayrton Redant in the number 93 AMG. This is the battle for 5th now. Redant fending off the first wave of attack, holds Renault at bay for a moment. This is the Pancor loud chicane. Renault, oh, brilliant stuff. Through turn 1 and slips into the perfect inside line for turn 2. Textbook-like overtake. Herbert Motorsport now up to 5th. Renault, who started in 9th, is the fastest man on track. Now all over the rear wing of Dominic Ang. And effortlessly, Renault going past into turn 14. Renault isn't done, not even close. Herbert Motorsport have set that Porsche up perfectly for this circuit. And the German is already pressurising Xuan Bo of Origin Motorsport. That's for 3rd. Same corner, same move, same result for Robert Renault. From 9th on the grid, now in 3rd. in just 11 laps. At the front of the field, Luke Hartog in the number 10 Absolute Racing Porsche. Unfazed by what's going on behind him, of course. He's in a rhythm of his own. And he's putting in one rapid lap after another. He's got about 4 seconds now over Tanat Sathien Therakul in the Climax Racing Mercedes. Opportunity for us to look at the other classes. Remember, in TCE, GT4 and GTX, just a single competitor in each of those, but let's not be fooled here. That doesn't mean that those teams are cruising. They're fighting for every fraction of a second. As Best Racing in the TCE category with their Cupra, trying to stay in touch with the more powerful machinery around them, the only front-wheel drive car in the race as well. Cherney Motorsport in GT4 doing exactly the same with their BMW M4. Bryce Fullwood, he is normally in the Australian Supercars Championship. This is somewhat uncharted territory. Endurance racing in GT4 is a bit of a different world for him, but he's learning quickly.
It's certainly very different from what I'm used to. Back home in Supercars, the cars are very different, the events are very different, but yeah, loving my time here so far.
The team has already faced major challenges here in Malaysia.
Yeah, it was very unlucky. Spencer was in the car. There was an anomaly. We're not really sure how it's happened, but the pedal box moved on him, and we didn't have the limiters in place, so the pedal box moved a long way and he couldn't reach the brake pedal. Yeah, very unfortunate. We've been, obviously, all these cars, the pedal boxes move. We've been moving it for days now and we haven't had a problem. So anyway, we've locked some limiters in there now, so if it moves, we can all still reach the pedals. So the guys did a really good job fixing the car. Obviously, you know, they're from Germany and, you know, they have a second car and they put a lot of parts off their second car into the container to come here. And so fortunately, they had everything to get it fixed. And I did the reconnaissance laps this morning just to feel the car out, make sure it was all good. Car's good, in tip-top shape. So we're able to start the race and all good.
At the other side of the experience spectrum, the French Vortex team knows endurance like the back of their hands. For all these teams, Malaysia isn't just a race, it's a full-blown test session under real competition conditions, a crucial step as they gear up for the coming season. All that experience doesn't make you invincible though. Everyone stumbles from time to time, and the mighty V8 behind that Vortex driver has fallen silent, and the car is coasting. Philippe Bonnell is the driver. He's going to have to pull off, park it on the grass. Such a seasoned squad and so early in the race. The Vortex crew have the car back in the pits. The mechanics diagnosing the issue quickly. Less than 30 minutes in the garage. It's roaring back into life and back on track. More problems for the Vortex out just a few minutes ago, but the car has stalled again. This is the first Code 60 of the race then. The Michelin 24-hour Code 60s are rather like a virtual safety car. 60-kilometre speed limit. That allows the marshals to safely launch into action. No overtaking allowed. The pits stay open though. At Sepang, not just the qualifying rules that have been overhauled, fuel regulations during Code 60s have been adjusted as well. Now it's just 15% of their full green flag fuel fill allowance. Full amateur squads can take up to 40%. And these changes will add a fresh strategic twist. Every Code 60 now becomes even more important, where the right fueling can gain precious time or perhaps lose it. Well, it's clear now, isn't it, that Vortex 2.0 has deeper technical issues. The crew pushing the car back into the garage. There'll be a full inspection. The clock ticking on, and a tough moment early in the race. Origin Motorsport are a brand new team to the Michelin 24-hour series, and you'd think they'd still be getting to grips with the complex rules and regulations, but they've managed to last 2 laps longer on their fuel than most of the rest of the field. So quite clearly, they are studying the more experienced teams around them, and this could work to their advantage over the full 12 hours. Well, endurance racing, you always say, expect the unexpected. I've never seen this before, a loose rear wing without any contact. Lippert Motorsport with their Lamborghini Huracan, well, that's normally an absolute beast out on track, but that repair is going to cost them precious time. Everything going to plan for Red Camel Porsche. Rick Breukers successfully defending his lead so far against Paul Mayer in the Milner Motorsport Porsche. Pretty much exactly an hour. Here comes Rick for the first scheduled full service pit stop. New tyres, a full tank of fuel, and a new driver. That's Adrian Flack getting into the Porsche. Milner Motorsport following the leader in, so the order is the same in the 992 class. It's 16 seconds now, the gap from Red Camel Jordan to the Milner Motorsport car.
Yeah, it's always good to have a target, but sometimes you overshoot. He overshoots on braking, so it was back and forward a little bit. But in the end, yeah, we have a similar pace for the race, which makes it interesting, I think.
Origin Motorsports with the 87 Porsche settling into the rhythm of the Michelin 24-hour series. Great first stint from Liu Hung Chung. He's charged hard, and that's brought him to the rear wing of Ayrton Redon from Ajith Kumar Racing. Ayrton trying to hold him off, defending corner after corner, but the pressure from Liu Hung Chung is just too much. He's gone through. That's a strong move, quickly adapting to what for him is an unknown series. Well, nearly 90 minutes in the race, and here comes the leader, Absolute Racing. They skipped the first code 60 stop that most teams took a bit of fuel in, but it's time now for, oh no, driver change, just fresh tyres. There'll be fuel, and Luke Hartog is heading out for a double stint. So the new leader is Herbert Motorsport, Ralph Byrne behind the wheel, and very quickly settling into a pace very similar to Robert Renard. So that's 9th on the grid to 1st in just on an hour and a half, and now a minute up the road from the rest of the field. That's a clear statement to the rest of their competitors. Red Camel still leading in the 992 class, but that battle with Milner Motorsport is heating up again. Adrian Flack defending against what appears to be relentless pressure of Valters Zavridis. Zavridis locked onto him, gets the slipstream, closes in, and at the end of the back straight, here's the move, diving for the inside line, and that's a new leader in 992, Milner Motorsport. The 992 Cup leaders into the pit lane. Savridis ahead of Flack, but a 10-second penalty for Adrian Flack in the bright orange car, so he'll be a bit later to the refueling. Still more than 10 hours to go. That time could be made up quite easily. On the pit stop cycle, the car that was leading, the black Herbert Motorsport Porsche, has slipped back to 3rd place. Alfred Renard behind the wheel now. His lap time's very, very good. Pretty much exactly the same as his twin brother Roberts. This German team back where they expect to be, firmly inside the top 3. Renard is on a charge, and they are pushing back towards the front of the field again. So Herbert Motorsport, with its 3rd driver in the car, but Absolute Racing has still got Luke Hartog behind the wheel. He started the race. That's an impressive double stint. 2 hours in the car, showing no signs of fatigue. His lap time's outstanding. Let's check in with Team Vortex, where the mechanics are battling to get that car back on track. Looks to be some kind of driveline issue. The back of the car had been completely dismantled, but the bodywork is starting to go back on, so I'm sure we'll see that French V8 back on the track shortly. Motorsport fans want to see a racing car on the track and in full race mode, and let's hope it stays that way for now. Now the Asbest Racing TCE car is in the pits. They have had the black and orange meatball flag. That is a signal from race control that the car has some kind of damage or mechanical problem. The car looks great, but it's a more bizarre problem that's brought them into the pit lane. This is the offending item here. Now, I can tell you that's quite heavy. It has a magnetic mount on the bottom of it, and it was placed, I've got to do this one-handed, it's placed on the helmet. And that is the point. That then becomes a potential projectile inside the car if it comes loose. So that is exactly underlining why Creventic and the stewards of the meeting realised that that is something that can't be allowed to continue. No other penalty being applied to the driver for that one. So the offending item. Cheney Motorsports, things going well so far. The BMW running like clockwork. Spencer Propper and his teammates, I'm sure, delighted with the race so far.
Car feels great. The Kearney team did an amazing job getting the car put back together, getting us out to this amazing circuit so that we can run some laps. Creventic puts on a fantastic event, and really happy to be here. It's a hot day, but it's a gorgeous day here, and it's fantastic to see such a big crowd too. That's great. What we're doing today is really practicing. We're aiming for a championship overall, so this is fantastic opportunity for us as a team to come together and make sure that we've got pit stops dialed in, that the team's dialed in, and we're looking forward to Abu Dhabi.
In the opening part of the race, Luke Hartog still behind the wheel. That's just over 2 hours and 15 minutes now since the lights went out. The maximum driving time is capped for this race at 2.5 hours, so the clock is ticking. Very soon he'll have to hand the car over to one of his teammates. But for now, Hartog squeezing every last second out of his second run.
Very good. So we took the lead in the first corner, and from there on it was managing. Because we have differences in classes, I was fuel saving the entire stint, so that was a fun experiment. Of course, we had to see how the tire would behave over the course of a stint, and it did pretty well. I mean, the last stint, apparently the tire was giving up slowly, so we had to box a bit precautiously, but so far we're running on schedule. It's been very good, actually. We have a very good car, so I'm really thankful for the guys. Did a wonderful job, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to drive so far.
Just under 3 hours into the race, and the moment many here have been waiting for has arrived. Indian movie star Ajith Kumar is getting into the car for his first stint. By far the most fans in the grandstand are waving his flags and have been eagerly awaiting this moment. They are going crazy. MALAYSIA Motorsports have done just about everything right so far. Paul Meyer and Valters Zivridis. Now Australian Bailey Hall driving the Porsche, and the Belgian team has a comfortable lead of just on a lap. Oh, curse of the commentator. Bailey Hall with drama, bringing in the Mulner Porsche. It goes straight into the garage. This is a worrying sign. Hopefully the team can get that car back out as quickly as possible. Let's have a look at the standings after 4 hours. Herbeth Motorsport in first position, almost a full lap ahead of Origin Motorsport. Absolute Racing now in third. Ajith Redant Racing with the AMG in fourth. In fifth, it's the Asian Viper Nitsa team ahead of Continental Racing in sixth. Remember, that Audi started from the pit lane. Climax Racing, our pole sitter, down in seventh. 8th for Win Here Be Quick Absolute Racing. Rounding up the top 10, LM Courses Ferrari in 9th, and in 10th, Red Camel Jordan.nl. 7 out of the top 10 teams are based in Asia, which is an impressive showcase of the growing strength of Asian motorsport. Therefore, a logical and strategically smart decision by Creventic to come to Asia for the first time. More than half the entries this weekend are Asian teams.
Yeah, I really enjoy driving with my teammate in a endurance race like this. You know, we don't have to fight all the time head to head. So it's a good time to enjoy. Like, I'm really happy to be here. And I think this is a perfect way to end the year. I hope you guys come back again. I really enjoy it. I think it's a new start. I'm hoping there's definitely more people join us next year, because it's relevant new to here. And it's like a new experience for this year. So it will be better in the future for sure. And I'm just so happy to be here with everyone. And yeah, so what a way to finish the season.
Viper Motorsport with their number 63 Lamborghini has a former Formula One driver and IndyCar champion in its lineup. Yeah, despite the star power, Marcus Ericsson and his brother have not had luck on their side so far. Here's Ben Constantiouris in the pits.
Yeah, I got my wife here, and probably mom and dad is watching on TV back home. But no, it's always been a dream of mine and my brother to race together at some point, and it sort of worked out here. Hampus raced with Leipert a little bit in Super Trofeo this year, so we talked about it, and then this opportunity came up, and it fits very well into my schedule as well, since we're in the off-season in IndyCar. So I love racing race cars, and yeah, to get this opportunity to go here, it's yeah, it was a no-brainer, and it definitely a dream come true to race with Hampus. Now I went through turn, is it 13, the quick left-hander, and had like a massive oversteer, and thought, oh, that was strange. I usually have understeer here. And then like a lap later, they're on the radio screaming, rear wing is off, it's slow down, slow down. So then had to limp around and get to the pits, and of course frustrating, because I think we were looking pretty good. I was catching the sort of lead pack, so the pace was actually really, really strong. We've been, you know, struggling a little bit in practice, but car was coming to us in the race, so it was a shame to lose, what, 5-6 laps with that issue. But still, you know, we're here to learn, we're here to do the laps, so yeah, it would have been great to be on the lead lap, but we're still gonna race hard for 12 hours, we're still gonna learn a lot, and it's still so many battles out there. Even if we're a couple of laps down, we're gonna battle it out and have fun.
Modena Motorsports with their number 216 Porsche have flown under the radar a bit so far, but they're right in the mix. Second place now in the 992 class, and they've been there for a little bit of time now, and they'll be staying hot on the heels of Red Camel. And with only a 1 lap gap, anything could still happen.
Well, I think we're aiming for a podium, and there's some tough competition, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it work.
5.5 hours into the race, half an hour from half distance. At the front of the field, a clear leading trio has emerged. Origin Motorsport holding third right now. That old Chinese team have somewhat less Michelin 24-hour series experience than those around them, but they're making a good impression and showing remarkable adaptability on the track. Second place, the evergreen Herberth Motorsport. It's Robert Renard, the pro driver, back behind the wheel, and he is steadily closing in on Absolute Racing, who still lead. Now, Absolute's goal so far pretty clear: get the team as far up the timing and scoring as possible before their only amateur driver, Antares Au, has taken over behind the wheel. But Antares Au is doing a brilliant job, 21 seconds ahead with 1 fewer pit stop. Let's see what happens in the rest of the race. Asbest Racing, not just representing the TCE touring cars, but flying the flag, of course, for front-wheel drive. They may not have any direct on-track contenders, but they are running an outstanding race and featuring many unpredictable challenges. Now, here at Sepang, the debris pickup is so heavy that one of the mechanics has to clear it from the wheel housing. Otherwise, that could ignite as it's so close to the exhaust pipes.
It is very hard to drive here. The conditions very hot, 35 degrees outside, 80% humidity. It's crazy. Yeah, and the tire getting overheating. Sometimes it's a front-wheel drive car. It's very bad track for this car. Yeah, we need to hold the positions and stay on track. But it's a lot of pickup on the track, and the front-wheel drive car with the rear pick it up. On the back straight, you hear it clap, clap, and it goes inside the wheel housing. And yeah, after 2-3 split stops, we need to change it, to put it away, that it don't go a big bottom on the tire. And we have the rears a little bit more, but about the track is like sandpaper, and you have big issues with the temperature. I think we need 2 sets more for the rear. And yeah, the front wheel tire is, after 1 stint, we can put it in the waste. It's over.
No challenge too big for this likeable team. We'll see them again in Abu Dhabi and Dubai for the remaining 2 rounds of the Middle East Trophy, and they'll be bringing more cars with them.
Of course, with 4 cars we come to Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
A relatively clean race so far, but drama can lurk round any corner, and the misfortune here is for the 992 class leaders, Red Camel Jordan.nl. Rick Breukers has lost part of his front splitter, which is a danger and has to be cleared from the track. It might look like a small piece of plastic, but without it, He's losing precious time.
Well, yeah, I think the front splitter is costing around 1 second a lap.
Is that all?
That's all, but the difficult thing is that from the start of the stint, you are using the front tires more and more, so you have to be really careful, use more curb, you know, to rotate the car. But yeah, really happy with the lap times, especially in the end, still being able to do 2 minute 13 was surprisingly well. I try to approach the corner a little bit more from a little bit wider, and then try to hug the inside curb to get a little bit more roll in the car and to get more pressure on the outside tires.
The biggest fan following this weekend is for the Ajith Redant Racing AMG up towards pit out. Ayrton Redant, his brother Yannick, and Kobe De Bruyke and their famous teammate Ajith Kumar. Let's find out what it's been like, this experience. Here's Kobe.
As a team, we all worked hard, so there's no one to blame for. But of course, we want always more. So happy, yes, because everybody did the maximum. But I think we can get higher up. Yeah, it's not normal. So many fans for Ajith. The atmosphere is crazy. Every time the car passes, every time they see Ajith, every time we just wave, they shout. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Still this enthralling three-way battle at the front of the field. It's Herbert Motorsport at the top again. The positions change because the top three teams are still on different pit and fuel strategies. Herbert Motorsport into the pit lane and another brilliantly well-drilled pit stop.
Definitely looks like this track is good for the Porsche. Yeah, it's a hard fight against the Absolute car. Yeah. So it's going to be really tight. I'm sure it's going to be really tight up to the end of the race. So we have to push a lot to keep the position, and let's see.
Alfred Renard now with a commanding lead. He has got more than a minute on Antares Au. Antares Au needs to make his next pit stop shortly. That will give Herbert Motorsport an even bigger margin. Remember, they started all the way down at the back of the GT3 grid after electrical problems kept them out of qualifying. The difference in the leaders' pit strategy is becoming clear. Absolute Racing coming into the pits around about the top of every hour, whereas Herbert Motorsport is around about the bottom at the 30 minutes past the hour mark. In a race this close, a different strategy can be the difference between victory and defeat. Luke Hartog back behind the wheel of the Absolute Porsche. Serious pace from the newly crowned World Porsche Cup champion. Don't forget the Chinese Origin team. They're still very much in the fight and they're getting better fuel mileage than anyone else. Now, after Absolute Racing's latest pit stop, they're back up into second place in the 992 class. It's a straight up two-way battle now for victory between Modena Motorsport, the 216, and Red Camel Jordan.nl with the orange number 909. The gap to the next contenders is very big indeed. 16 laps separating the lead pair from the rest of the field. Here are the standings after 8 of 12 hours. Origin Motorsport ahead of another Porsche, that of Herbert Motorsport. Continental Racing by Simpson, their Audi, which started in the pit lane, is now third. Absolute Racing in fourth. Ajith Redant Racing in fifth, ahead of the pole-sitting Climax in the sixth position. Win here, Be Quick Racing in seventh, eighth, Viper Nizza Racing, LM Courses Ferrari in ninth, and Leipert Motorsports Lamborghini in 10th. Slick, flawless pit stops can be the difference between climbing the leaderboard or falling behind. A key part of rapid tyre changes comes down to how each wheel is attached to the car's hubs. The regulations allow for some cars to use centre lock wheels. That's just one single large nut, and that allows for incredibly fast swaps. Other categories, then it's a more traditional method with 4 or 5 individual nuts. Well, we often see that brakes need to be changed at least once in a 12-hour race. Or is it a bigger problem for the Czerny Motorsport BMW? Here's Bryce Fullwood.
Alec was driving the car and yeah, he said he could feel it, and the brake pedal was going long, obviously, because the rotor's flopping around. And then obviously with the car having so many smart systems and stuff like that, it's had some issues with I think it's taken out the wheel speed sensor, and that's thrown the car into a limp mode. So they've got to put a new wheel speed sensor and new wheel bearing in it, and then which they're not too far off being done, and then hopefully we'll be back in action. It's a shame, the team have done a really good job, and anyway, they're just about to get it all back together and we can punch on and finish the race.
Nightfall comes quickly in this tropical heat, but fortunately the track here is very well illuminated. But night racing always adds a whole new dimension. Changing track temperatures, less visibility, and potentially missing your reference points. Now that pushes both driver and machine to the limits. In Sepang, the lights help, but in endurance racing, darkness tests concentration, skill and stamina like nothing else. 2 hours to go. This is the decisive phase of the race. The key question: which of the 3 leading teams has played the smartest strategy? At the moment, the advantage appears to be with Herbeth Motorsport. Alfred Renard at the wheel, and the gap to the second place Origin Motorsport has steadily increased, now sitting at 3.5 minutes. Johan Bohr in the Origin Porsche is giving everything he has, pushing hard and using every bit of pace he can find, but despite his efforts, he's not quite closing the gap to Renard. Patrick Niederhauser now behind the wheel of the number 10 Absolute Racing Porsche is delivering impressive pace here. Even with his speed, he's not able to close in on the 2 teams ahead either. Now remember, earlier in the race, they didn't pit through that first code 60. Some others took a quick splash and dash, and that small top-up is now seemingly proving very valuable. And that might be the detail that costs Absolute Racing the potential victory. Even with just 15% of their refueling allowed under code 60, those that took it seem to have a bit of an advantage. So here are some statistics to back up how important pit stop efficiency is in endurance racing. All of the 3 leading teams have made 8 stops to now, but Herbeth have spent 1 minute fewer in the pits than Origin Motorsport and 4 minutes fewer than Absolute Racing. Robert Renard taking over the Herbeth Porsche from his twin brother Alfred. The task clear now: manage the pace, maintain the gap. That gap is 1 minute and 50 seconds to those that are chasing. This Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia hasn't just pushed teams and drivers to their limits, it's been tough on the machines as well. There's quite a few of the cars already showing the scars of battle, scratches, dents, worn bodywork, telling the story of the long hours on the track, and yet they still have to make it through another 90 minutes. The crews keep patching them up, sending them back out again and again, sometimes held together by meters of tape. The order at the front has swapped once again after making their latest and final pit stop just a few minutes ago. Origin Motorsport have dropped back to 3rd, but Patrick Niederhauser in that Absolute Racing Porsche has to make his final stop as well. That'll put Origin back into 2nd place. Johan Bohr apparently not entirely satisfied with his last stint.
Today I did the 4 stints, so it's too much for me. Yeah, I'm a bronze driver. Then I did first stint, second stint, then double stint. It's too much. Yeah. Exactly. I think all team crews, all the mechanic, engineer, team manager, like all the drivers, we try to achieve some podium. So. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My second double stint is like a little bit shit with the pace, but I completely lost the feeling with the leg, with my arm, and even my brain. So yeah.
Patrick Niederhauser from Absolute Racing has been finding more speed with every lap. After 11 hours of racing, he set the fastest lap of the race, followed that up with another sub 2 or 5 minute lap. For 20 minutes, he's been keeping up a relentless pace, giving everything he can to close the gap to Ye Hong Li in the Origin Porsche. 38 seconds behind at the moment, but time is running out. Just 36 minutes to go. Ye Hong Li is running a very long final stint, fuel saving to the checkered flag. Now this strategy comes with a risk, but in endurance racing, without risk, there's no reward. It looks like Herbeth Motorsport, despite having one more pit stop than everyone else, is going to take the victory. Absolute Racing's gamble of saving fuel and skipping a pit stop hasn't paid off. They had to run at a slower pace. with 20 minutes to go, Robert Renard just now has to bring the car home and secure the victory. The tension in the pit box, you could cut it with a knife. And what a race it's been as well for TCE, GT4 and GTX. Asbest Racing have delivered an impressive performance here in Sepang. You can say the same for Cheney Motorsport. The team and drivers have worked seamlessly together to overcome a number of obstacles on their way to the finish line. They'll have more competition in the UAE too. Things a little different for Team Vortex. They had to retire the car after 168 laps. There are numerous technical problems, just too much, and they'll not see the finish this time around. The 992 class once again delivering what fans expect, endurance racing at its finest. It's going to be third for 610 Racing. What an achievement that is, by the way, for an all-amateur team from China. Second place is going to another full amateur team, Modena Motorsport from Hong Kong. They've pushed hard to stay in the fight, but in the end, they'll be 2 laps down on the winners. Familiar faces on the top step of the podium for 992. The Dutch family team, Red Camel Jordan.nl, will take it after Mulner Motorsport lost valuable time with a mechanical issue. So Ivo, Rick and Luke Breukers, this time with their Australian teammate Adrian Flack, on their way to another well-deserved win. Yeah, Hong Li is doing exactly what is required, holding on to second place. The question, will that fuel last? Yeah, Hong Li on a much longer final stint than the other 2 cars in the top 3, and every remaining lap will test just how well their fuel strategy has been calculated. There are perplexed faces in the Herbeth Motorsport pit. What seemed like a certain victory has vanished in the last few moments. A 4-lap penalty assessed by the organisers. They are saying the minimum driving time of the AM-graded drivers, Ralph Bohn and Konstantin Dressler, has not been fulfilled. That is a disaster for the German squad. No time for them to recover from that. A quite extraordinary plot twist at the end of the race has delivered victory at the inaugural Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia to Origin Motorsport. Ye Hong Li bringing the car through the last corners, through turn 15 for a final time. The tight hairpin that leads on to the finish. Drama at the end, but an outstanding and breathtaking performance from the Chinese squad. It looks like the crew on the pit lane can't quite believe it yet. Second, Absolute Racing. That's a result that they've earned with a strong, committed performance throughout the entire 12 hours. And they've bagged a spot on the podium. And what a race for the 69 Audi Continental Racing by Simpson. Well, they move up into third place following that penalty to Herbeth. They started from the pit lane 12 hours ago. What an incredible accomplishment. Yeah, Hong Li bringing the car into the Parc Fermé. The celebrations begin. The joy within the team is immense. Let's hear from Yuan Bo with Ben Constanturis.
It's very lucky, to be honest, but we finished second, but some issue, yeah. But still happy for the team. They put a lot of effort for this race, and we trying hard. All the staff, as I mentioned before, is really, really working hard. So thanks quite a lot to these guys. Yeah.
I thought we were P2, so I didn't save the fuel, but I turned on the aircon. And in the end, I was surprised. I mean, when I crossed the line, I saw it P1.
Yeah, it was a good effort from all of us. I think we were all a bit disappointed to not catch the win. Obviously, that's what we came for. But yeah, Origin and the guys made an amazing job, so this deserved winner, of course. I had a bit of a gap at the end. I tried to push maximum. I could close it at the beginning a little bit, but then yeah, Leo stabilized, and from that moment it was quite hard to catch him.
Big success, yeah. We're going to do all 3 rounds of the championship, as I said, like finishing with a 24-hour. Second in the class, so we've scored a big haul of points. There was a nice field here, but there's going to be a huge field in Abu Dhabi and an even bigger field in the Dubai 24-hour, and it's a 24-hour race, so it's nice to have a big haul of points early on, which we can take forward into the rest of the championship.
Now time for the grand moment of any endurance race. It's the victory ceremony. What a win for Origin Motorsport. The final standings of the Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia see Origin Motorsport take the overall, with Absolute Racing a strong second place, just behind them the only Audi on the grid, Simpson Continental Racing Car in third. A disappointed Team Herbeth Motorsport in fourth, but they did win their class. Climax Racing started on pole, they'll finish fifth overall. Sixth to the win here, Be Quick Absolute Racing Porsche. Seventh, Ajith Kumar Racing. Viper Nitsa Racing in eighth position. Lightman Motorsport finishing ninth, and rounding out the top 10, the winners in the 992 class, that's Red Camel, Jordan.nl. The Michelin 12 Hours of Malaysia has been a phenomenal race. 12 entertaining hours with countless challenges, an unbelievable fight through heat and fatigue, sunlight and darkness, and a finish that could not have been more dramatic. That was a story written in speed, struggle and the spirit of endurance. But that story's not over. In January, we'll reach the next chapter. The iconic Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi will be the host to the second stop of the Michelin Middle East Trophy, and then the drivers and teams will head to Dubai for the legendary Michelin 24 Hours of Dubai. Have a great Christmas and New Year. I'm John Hindorf. I'll see you at the track.